Let's fact check all the controversy over the Olympic backflip that has been spreading across the internet and is not quite telling the truth. So there was this narrative kind of crafted that Surya Bonaly, who was a French ice skater from the 90s, was somehow robbed of a medal because she performed a backflip in the 1998 Olympics, and that she was disqualified for this. But none of that is true. It's just not. And she was a great skater, but she never got a medal at the Olympics. And we really need to just embrace her for the awesomeness that she is without adding this made up stuff. So the first thing to know is that the backflip was first performed at the Olympics by an American white guy in 1976. The Olympic Committee looked at it and said, the International Skating Union said, you know what, that looks really dangerous and it's kind of ugly, so we're just going to ban it. And on both counts, they're more or less right. And so it stayed banned for 50 years. So when Surya went to perform in the 1998 Olympics, she knew it was an illegal move. She was only docked the 2 points that was required from the international standards. She already fell twice and almost fell a third time in that very same performance. She was not a medal contender. She had recently torn or ruptured her ACL, and she knew it was going to be her last Olympic appearance. So she said she just wanted to give people something to talk about. It wasn't even necessarily a protest move. She just wanted to show them that she had skills and in her last big show. She wasn't robbed from anything. Again, she came in fourth and fifth in 1992 and 1994. That was the year that they decided to switch up the Olympics from both being every 4 years to rotating every other year. So there were 92 and 94 Olympics, and she came in fourth and fifth. And she was a great skater. But that's simply not what happened in 1998. And I don't know why this narrative is popping out of nowhere. People seem to want to be offended by this by pretending she was the first person to ever do it, which she wasn't, or that she was the only person to ever do it landing on one foot, which she isn't, or that they banned it because of her. They didn't. And the facts just aren't there. And it's becoming more and more embarrassing to try to infantize and victimize her when she's a badass and she can handle it and speak for herself, and what she has. Now, I wrote an explainer about this a few days ago when I first started seeing this kind of pop up, but myself and others are many attempts to kind of correct this and be like, that's not quite what happened. Even to some quite famous people with very large accounts seem to be falling on deaf ears. So I thought, you know what, I'll just make a video and explain it. The rule was only recently, the ban rather, it was only recently removed 2 years ago after a multi-year campaign by an Asian skater to have it removed. And he incorporated that move into his performances and knew he was going to get docked points for it every time, to show that he could still win even if it wasn't on points, which he did. He accumulated medals while doing the backflip and demonstrating that it was safety. It's not a disqualifying thing. It just docked you 2 points. And again, in 1998, Surya came in 10th place, and I think she was 15 points shy. So it cost her no medals. This is the first year of the Winter Olympics since the ban was removed, and it has been used several times. You don't get points for it yet, which is weird, but at least it's not illegal. And so an American skater has used it twice already, once landing on one foot. It was beautiful. But it just, we don't have to find or make things up, rather, to be upset about especially if it's not true. If you want to debate whether or not she should have come in third in 1992 and that she was unfairly docked points for, in quote, style, because of very uptight and judgmental Olympic judges who don't like athletic skaters, yeah, fair game. You could totally do it on that year. But the 1998 backflip incident, is the way it's being portrayed, is completely made up. Has no basis in reality whatsoever. And we're better than that, and we're smarter than that. And it's easily verifiable. So let's stop doing that. Let's appreciate the amazing performance that Americans are doing right now on the ice. Because if you remember, there was a plane crash last year in which 26 Olympic athletes, coaches, their family members died right here in DC. And it was devastating for the ice skating community. Some of our American performers, one of them at least, lost both his parents in that crash. So this is, for a lot of American ice skaters, a very emotional year of performances. And that's come through in some of these performances too. So let's support them. Let's be proud of their accomplishments, not try to diminish their impact. I mean, one of our guys is literally called the quad god because he's the only person in the history of the sport who can land a quadruple axel. So let's be proud of those people. And if you don't know the history of Black Americans in ice skating, you should really go back to like the 70s. We had some great Black skaters who won gold at the Olympics, and we should be proud of them and for breaking ground. So calm it down. There's no need to keep repeating something that's not true. And let's cheer for our athletes this year.